Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby. And Craig Wells, he's here today. Craig, thank you once again for being retired and being available.
Hey, it's just my honor to be here.
Well, it's great to have you always.
I call Gary on Fridays and say, don't you have someplace to go this weekend?
Yeah, you need to go somewhere. And let's look back at last week. We had Robert Giovannetti out at the stadium. He came over. He always is great. We had Cade Brunson and Slade Stone, the guys who came up with the song "Don't Rush the Jones."
Yeah.
And they brought the guitar and sang it on the air. And those were great young men. They did a great job.
Pretty talented. Very talented.
And then we were honored to have Jim Douglas to finish out the show with us last week, and he got the Lauro Cavazos Honor Award. And
I thought he got the Official of the Year award.
I noticed on his bio, Craig, and you'll find this funny, there wasn't one thing about officiating, not one word that he was a long-time official.
Yes, he was.
Basketball official.
And did a lot of games.
Oh, my gosh. He called many of ours.
Yeah, a lot of games.
But he is something else. Jim Douglas is, there's no telling what he's meant to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's put a lot of time and effort into it.
And to the ex-students and now the Alumni Association. Oh, look at that. There's a guy on TV. Who's that?
Well, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, well, because I can't see me. I can't see y'all. I can't see nothing. So I'm flying on instruments right now. So
what are you using, your phone?
No, I'm using my computer.
And why can't you? I wonder why you can't see us.
I don't know, but I'm not going to push many buttons.
Well, you can't see us.
See me and hear me.
But you can't see us normally, can you?
Okay, Gary, don't do any bad hand gestures or anything.
We can see you. We can see you
good.
on the.
That's the main thing.
Well, it's a matter of opinion. But
well, you're dressed in all white today, huh?
Is it a white out?
Can you see my guns up?
Yep.
Do I need to lower it a little?
No, you're fine.
You need to raise it a little. Get your head above the screen. No, you got to go the other way.
How's that?
Well,
yep, that's good.
That's perfect. Still can't see the guns up, but there it is. Barely. Right. There we go. All right.
There we go.
So here we are.
Anyway, I'm wearing all white because I'm hoping today is a good white positive day for the Red Raiders, because I don't know if y'all watched football last night.
Yep.
But last night sort of showed you what can happen if you don't get after it.
Yep.
Maybe it might happen even if you do get after it.
Yeah, Miami just made a bunch of mistakes, and you can't do that when you're playing good teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're playing a good team today. They might have got beat last week, but it's because their quarterback was hobbled and didn't play, I don't think.
No, he didn't play at all. But he's supposed to play today.
Yeah. And, don't take this wrong, but I sort of hope that he's a little hobbled. You hate to wish against somebody, but I hope he's 100% next week.
Maybe we can hobble him if he's not hobbled.
What was that show with Kathy Bates in it? And,
she's beating on
James Caan,
hitting him with a hammer on his feet.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that.
I tell you what, if old Romello Height and David Bailey get after him, he may start hobbling on his own.
Yeah. That's one of the things from last week that amazed me the most is that we had 9 sacks against a quarterback from Kansas in Jalen Daniels that is hard to catch.
Yeah,
he is very athletic, and we sacked him 9 times.
That's like unbelievable. I think his concentration was on the tortillas. He was looking over his shoulder, looking for tortillas coming.
Well, it seems to be a major problem. Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah, it seems to be a major problem.
Before we leave talking about the Kansas game last week, I'm going to say this: what the Kansas coach did, that is beyond unacceptable. The assistant coach, I don't know if the head coach knew that it was a ploy or a lie, but the assistant coach, obviously he did. I cannot believe our campus police came up with that footage.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, here's our PSA today. Folks, don't do stuff that's wrong and illegal because you will get caught nowadays. Somebody's watching you.
You know that there's that commercial on TV now, Gary, where they're showing the stands on the big screen and the guy behind is eating the cotton candy from the little kid in front of him, and he's on the big screen, and everybody turns and looks at him stealing cotton candy.
Yeah. They've had those. They've had the crowd cameras for a long time. I mean,
is that right?
Yeah, and they do it for safety reasons. If something happened, or if somebody fell down the stairs or something like that, they could see it and go to it immediately. So
you're going to get sued. Or something.
Yeah. But it's I tell you, I saw something last night, and I don't, with AI and everything, I don't know if it's true, but that the staffer that gave the head coach the knife, he fired yesterday. He fired him, and the people
almost
asked,
had to.
Yeah, and the people asked him for more comment, and he said, "Got caught," and that's all he said.
That's you saw him say that.
It was in the story that I saw, but I don't know if he said it or not.
And that's where we are, Gary. Nobody knows what's real anymore.
That's where this world is right now.
Yep.
You see something, and then crap, it might even be on the news, and it may just be false information.
They got all these, and this would be good for you up in Reynosa because they got all these videos of bears coming up on the porch going to eat the little baby, and the cat. The cat chases off the bear.
Yeah, I've seen.
And you're
that.
like, really?
Yeah, I'm not real sure that was legit or not. We feel like we had a bear last night or a raccoon. Feel like it's a bear because of what he got at. He got at one of our hummingbird feeders, and it'd be hard for a raccoon to get to. So we think we might have had a bear last night, but they don't seem to bother you much. I'm not going to test them, but
I saw something this week, and I didn't know this. This might be good for you to know, but if it's brown, lay down. That was the little saying. If it's brown, lay down, because you'd want to run. If it's black, say you get yourself right with the Lord.
Yeah.
Hit your knee. If it's black, hit your knees.
Yeah. If it's brown, laid. I don't know if that's true or not. So
I'm not going to test it out.
Please don't say he died because he listened to your show.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not sure we should pass that along because this lady calls in 3 weeks saying my son was chewed up by a brown bear because he laid down. After listening to your show.
Well, that's not. I just saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
But who knows if that's true or not?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that if they did fire that assistant coach, I'm glad they fired him. I thought their coach was a little out of line.
He was out of line.
It's a tortilla. But I will say this: a bunch that David and I eat at Red Zone with on Tuesdays. If you'd have taken a vote, they're like 95%, and I might have been the 5% that's just completely against tortillas.
Just stop it totally.
Yeah. Well, one of them's Coach Myers.
I think if we do what Kirby and what they've allowed us to do, throw them on the kickoff. We enjoyed it. Hey, laugh, have fun. All right, now let's get to the football game. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to narc out the northwest corner because they're the worst. They're the worst from my vantage point at continuing on during the game. And let me tell you, I think it's sort of like these drug dealers in Lubbock. We know who they are. I don't, but the police do. And they don't do anything about it because but we can do something about these people that are throwing those tortillas on the field after the game started. And Craig, I think you talked about how we've always had those videos. I think we're going to have a lot more cameras in the stands. And because once you start throwing people out, they're going to start saying, well, it wasn't me.
Yep.
Say, well.
I had a question put to me. If you make a rule, you're always going to have people try to test that rule and go a little bit further than what the rule allows. Why wouldn't you just say no tortillas? And if you got close to everybody following that, you could really tell who threw the 1 or the 2 or 3 or something if they followed the rules.
I personally, now obviously I'm in the minority at my lunch bunch, but I personally am fine with it, have fun with it, and then just do it within the rules. And I told Gio this last week, David, you'll remember this, when I said where we screwed up was against Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Kent State. We should have been 15-yarding us then, so people realize, hey, this is serious. I think by the time we figured out last week that, hey, this is serious, we're already 15 yards into the deal, and I'm not sure that the second 15 yards, I don't know, I haven't looked at the footage, but I'm not sure that it wasn't after they said that we had thrown a knife at them. Yeah. And I think coming out of a timeout, we might have got a 15-yard penalty for. Yeah,
I think that's right. I don't
machetes.
know. We're going to end up, if we're not careful, we'll end up with self-policing up in the stands. In other words, Great Red Raiders don't want to see that. They hate the tortillas to begin with, and they're mad that they're even throwing them. And so now we'll have people going across there. We're not supposed to, and we'll end up with a fist fight up in the stands over tortillas.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
And that can't happen.
No, you don't want
narking people out's going to be the answer, but it's also going to lead to some fisticuffs.
Yep, I'm afraid that's going to happen. And I tried to figure out exactly when the tortilla thing started, and I ran some stuff off here. How did Texas Tech's tortillas toss begin? I remember when we played USC.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever remember.
We were doing it then.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever remember.
What year was that?
Spike's 95, so 95, 96, somewhere
in there.
Texas Tech play USC in the Cotton Bowl.
Yep, it was because Spike's last year was 99, so that was.
It was 95.
95.
I thought it was 95.
It was the 95 Cotton Bowl. It might have been the 94 team.
Yeah.
It said that the first less exciting theory is that it began in 1989 when students unable to throw soda lids onto the field as they once did. I don't ever remember that.
I don't either.
Tossing tortillas instead, according to the Red Raiders in the fan site Viva the Matadors.
I'm not going to go with that because I don't remember soda lids.
I don't remember soda lids at all. Here's the more popular theory. It lies in the tortilla tradition to Texas, where it comes from Texas Tech's rivalry with A&M, which also aligns with the claim that the statue of Will Rogers on his horse Soap Suds near the front of the campus was deliberately positioned so that the horse's rear faces College Station. Now, that's true, isn't it?
Yes, it's true, but I don't know if that's why they did it. But it's I've heard that story since the day I've been here.
I'm with Craig. It's true, but I'm not sure. I think after they did it, they go,
"Hey, this is perfect.
Look here, this is facing A&M."
Yep.
According to legend, before a Tech A&M football game in 1992, an ESPN announcer joked that Lubbock had nothing but Texas Tech football and a tortilla factory.
Pedro's Tortillas.
In response, fans brought tortillas to the game and tossed them at kickoff. I'm thinking that sounds real.
I want to go with that one.
That's a good one.
Because that's right before the USC year and everything. So if it had trickled that, to that point,
So let's say early 90s is when this began.
Yeah.
And it's carried on, but they learn to tear holes in the middle, but the problem is when you throw them, then they're laying everywhere. So people bend over and pick them up and throw them again.
And they're not going to eat them, so
you just got to throw them again. Nothing else to do with it.
Yep.
Yeah. We need to gather them up.
I hope that that's behind us. I hope that whole situation just kind of drifts off, and
I do too.
Because we don't need to be talking about tortillas when we've got one of the best football teams that we've had in a long, long time.
Well, and the rule and the guideline they've given us is easy to live within.
Yeah.
Throw them.
Yeah.
Throw them, and then be done.
Stop.
Go on with the ball game. But back to that coach. I mean, I think it's fine to be frustrated after a game. David, you and I have been frustrated after a game. Craig probably not as
almost
not
every
so much.
game.
Yeah. But lecturing the opposing coach after the game, that's really not okay.
No, it's not at all.
Now, back to venting to the media, that's okay. But be sure of your facts before you vent to the media. But lecturing the other coach at half, I thought Joey stood up for himself for what I could hear.
He's going after him.
For as good a guy as he is. You do what that coach did to the wrong coach, and you're liable to.
Well, Joey went after him.
Fisticuffs.
I was wanting him to say, "I'm sorry, I couldn't get the tortillas under control. We were too busy kicking your butt."
You know, if he does it the right way, waits Mondays, calls Joey and says, "Look, Joey, we had a problem with that." We might not ever know that anything happened.
Exactly, but he handled himself horribly. The Kansas coach did.
Yep.
And he heard about it too. He got fined for what he said and how he acted.
Yeah, and should have. But
the Kansas AD, his statement was pretty strong too.
All right, here we go, Gary. We're going to break. What do you want to do? You want to hang on?
Oh yeah, we got to do pick 'em. We got to do. I sat down and listened to Coach McCaslin at lunch this week. I want to talk about that. I got all kinds of things to talk about.
All right, we'll be right back.
Talk about how much I appreciate Craig.
All right, don't get goofy.
Yep.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
All right, Fuddruckers, 66th in Milwaukee. And if you're looking for the world's greatest hamburger and just great food in general, and their chicken bites are delicious, and the whole thing there is good. Go see them at 66th in Milwaukee. And if you're looking to get something catered, Cafe Venture is the place. Mickey Rogers, any size group, any kind of food, they can do it all at Cafe Venture. And Quarter 4, everything Texas Tech, high school equipment, trophies, shoes. They got fashion clothes now. I mean, you know, I guess for men, we don't really think about fashion, but the women's department is amazing and really doing a great job at Quarter 4. Gary, do a quick, for Laurie Kasler, let's talk about Senior Benefit Solutions.
I'm going to do that, and then I'm also going to do Connecticut because I've got lots of comments on my Connecticut spots when I talk about how soft you can make your not only your water, but your clothing, your wife, everything.
We better not discuss all those comments.
There's lots of really, really good things about.
Are people coming up to Terry and touching her and saying, "Oh, you're so soft"?
Yeah, they're just rubbing all over her, rubbing up against her. But anyway, call our friends at Connecticut at 368-4736. And then let me tell you something funny. While we're in Ruidosa, Roofwise is roofing our home, and they've already done my mother-in-law's, and everybody's delighted with how that went. But anyway, so we can watch them through the cameras we got at the house, and so they're out and they're wrapping up last night, and it's dark, and they work till dark, and I flipped that security light on, and I flipped. And you should have seen them jump. I don't know what they thought was happening, but anyway, I scared them. So hopefully I didn't scare them off, and they come back today because we need to finish that deal. And I'll tell you this on Lori Kasler and her deal over there at Senior Benefits. You know, I took my wife and my mother-in-law went there the other day. And she shot my wife straight. You don't need anything. Your husband's still working. You're on his plan. And she has. And let me tell you, you older folks know this. It's hard to understand that stuff. You need somebody to sit down and put it in easy to understand terms. And Lori does that.
Or just tell you, do this, don't do that. That. That's what I want them to tell me. This is what you need. I was going to say remedial terms, but it's not that. You could be the smartest person on earth and have trouble with that. You really could. It's a government deal.
Anyway, and about the time you figure it out, think you know it all, it changes.
Yeah, they changed it for 2026.
Yep. You better have somebody that knows what they're doing.
And she will do it at no cost. She will sit down and visit with you at no cost. And I think y'all know me. That's pretty important.
It's a good price.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll do our pick'em here in a second. But I got to sit down at a Phi Delta lunch. Alumni have a once a month lunch. In fact, Gus does that. Gus is a great part of our city.
Yeah,
I'll say that. Craig, you are too, but Gus is, and he sort of ramrods that. Him and Gaylor. And but I got to sit down and listen to Coach McCaslin this week. And if we're anywhere near as good as he feels like we are, and he spoke at the same time last year, and he told us different things, how good Christian Anderson was going to be. And we didn't know Christian Anderson from anything. And, he shot us straight last year. Everything he said came true. And if he's shooting a straight this year, my goodness, I don't know where the Final Four is this year, but I may go ahead and
get your tickets.
Get my hotel room. So anyway, he talked about Toppin, and of course Toppin could have gone to the pro. He could have gone to the NBA. He could have gone to the draft and all that. But how much he loved it here, and he went on about different things that he loved about it. And then at the very end, he goes, "Oh, and by the way, we gave him $4 million." So,
that helped.
So that did.
Toppin is the preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, and he should be.
Yeah, and should be.
Yeah.
And
we've also got the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year, that Lawan Watts.
Yeah, Lawan Watts. I mean, we're going to be good.
I'm not sure as a category, but I think it should be the Big 12. We are so glad you came here and came back this year for Kristen Anderson.
Yes, sir. Yes,
my
sir.
gosh, he may be the Big 12 Player of the Year this year.
Yep.
Who's that? Who'd you say?
Christian Anderson.
Yeah, oh yeah, Christian is an amazing player.
Yeah,
big point guard,
without a doubt. So anyway, all right, I've got Rodney's picks, and literally we almost picked differently on every single game.
Y'all did?
Of course, he didn't know how I picked, and I didn't know how he picked until he sent them to me, and I'd already picked. So yeah.
Now, if you got them on bottom, they're the home team this time. Yeah, last week you had A&M on top, and they were the home team.
I think that was the only one I screwed up last week, but I put a dot beside them, so that's usually indicative of home team, but I didn't explain that.
Well, as long as I'd known what the dot meant, that would have helped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. From now on.
Yeah. The home team is on bottom.
Years,
yeah.
Yeah. So
all right.
Anyway.
So who are you picking in Ohio State, Wisconsin?
Hey, let's let Craig play.
All right. You just
Craig,
have to do it off the top of your
Yep.
head.
Yep. Fire them away.
All right. We got Ohio State minus 24.5 against Wisconsin, and that's at Wisconsin.
Are you picking first? You are, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I took Wisconsin.
Man, that's a lot of points, isn't it? I'll take.
Yeah. Here's your dilemma, David. I've been doing so bad.
I know it. I hate to get down there with you.
Gary just took Wisconsin. I cannot take Wisconsin.
The law of averages, you're surely going to get some right.
Okay, well, go with that.
I'm going to go. Ohio State can blow them out, and I don't think Wisconsin's very good.
Yeah, they can.
I'm going to take Ohio State. Who'd Rodney take?
Rodney took Ohio State.
Okay.
And Craig took?
I'll take Wisconsin. That's a lot. That's too many points at Wisconsin.
Yeah, I know it's a home game for Wisconsin. All right, Baylor and TCU. Is that next?
Yeah. You're up, Dave.
TCU is -3. I'm going
at Baylor.
It's at TCU on bottom?
I lied.
Yeah.
The dot's beside TCU.
Yeah, so it's at TCU. I'm going to take Baylor because of Sawyer Robertson.
All right, that's a good reason. All right, Craig?
I'm going to take TCU. They've been playing not as good as they want them to play, and I think this is their breakout game.
Sonny's gotten on them.
On the right track.
They've been playing bad. I'm taking them.
Yeah. I'll take TCU.
Rodney took Baylor, and I'm going to take TCU just because I really feel like Sonny doesn't accept mediocrity very well. So I know they will at least be prepared and have the fear of goodness in them.
Well, I could have taken TCU because of Sonny too, but I'm going Baylor. All right,
Arizona at Houston. Houston's favored by a point, so it's almost a pick 'em.
Yeah,
Craig, who you got?
Arizona. I think Arizona is the team that everybody didn't think is going to be as good as they are. I don't think they're a great team, but I think they're good. I mean, I think they're capable of winning maybe 1 or 2 on the road and then 2 or 3 at home.
And Houston might have peaked a little early.
Yeah.
And Rodney took Arizona. I took Houston, and David took
Arizona.
And I'm feeling really confident on that one. All right. Now we're at A&M -7 at Arkansas. Rodney took A&M.
Well, Arkansas is just a mess.
I took A&M, and David took.
See, that number doesn't seem big enough to me.
Yeah.
Because I think Arkansas is a mess. I'll take A&M. No, I'm taking Arkansas. Who'd Rodney take?
Him and I took A&M, so the smart bet is Arkansas.
Okay, yeah.
Greg, what do you got? You going with the smart bet, or you going with
No,
Rodney?
Arkansas kicked 2 players off this week, I think.
And they're a 7-point dog.
Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I got to go A&M. I don't know if they can score against A&M very much anyway.
That's
and A&M has
point.
a lot to play for. I mean,
Yes.
they're in the
Crap,
they're
they'll
in the
be
hunt
up.
for a
They
lot
could be
of
number
things.
2 in the country after this
Yeah.
weekend. They really could be.
Yeah, I'll tell you who else could be in the top 3 or 4 or 5
That's
after
right.
this week is the Red Raiders
You
of
got
Texas
it.
Tech.
You got it.
And that's our next game. Texas Tech minus 7.5 at Arizona State. And I went with Arizona State just because that's the way I do it, hoping that I lose.
Okay, well, you're doing a good job of it this year.
I know it. I know I've got us undefeated,
I
Don.
know. I've got Tech.
All right.
I'll take Tech.
All right. Rodney took Tech. All right. Now we got over and under, and it's 51.5. David, what do you got?
Under.
All right. Craig?
I think the odds makers knew exactly what they're doing, because I think that's a great number, 51. So I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go just a tad bit under.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 27-24. And if you add that up, that's under, but I went over. So Rodney's under, the 3 of y'all are under, and I'm over. Hey,
I think it's
speaking
too
of over-
low. I think that's too low of a number for Texas Tech. I mean, we're almost scoring the average in that by ourselves.
The only thing
Yeah.
that I don't think Arizona State's going to score many, because their offensive line is really beat up.
Good.
And I think our defense is so dominant that I think they're going to keep
They
them
are
to
dominant.
They're going to keep them to a 7-10 score, I think.
Good.
Oh, wow.
Greg's already thinking
if
this
you're-
through. It's off the top of his head.
Well, if he's right, then I love it, because I don't see any earthly way we lose the football game
Yeah.
if we give up 10
agree.
points.
I agree.
So, all right, I'm with you, Craig. Hey, speaking of the overs and unders, last night the baseball game with Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
the over and under was 7.5, and it's like 1-1. Then it was 2-2, and you're getting late in the game. It's 2-2, so you're feeling like I've got this sacked up. And then Seattle hits a grand slam, and it goes from 2-2 to 6-2, and there's the overs.
That'll be on bad
I just
beats. That'll be on bad beats coming up on.
Yeah.
Scott
I just
Show.
have so much trouble going under because
Speaking of baseball, Gary, and you've seen a lot. Have you ever seen a performance like Ohani had last night?
What do you have? 3 home runs?
And how many, 10 strikeouts
10
or something like that?
yeah.
say that again, because I didn't watch the game. We were out last
he
night.
had 3 home runs, and,
No.
and he had 10 strikeouts as the pitcher.
Oh no.
I think that's right. I know the 3 home
the 10 strikeouts.
Yeah.
I know he had 3 home runs. I think that's right.
I tell you what, if I had seen that, I would have led the show off with that. That's legendary stuff. That's
Yeah. It was
all this other stuff comes and goes, but a night like that, that's one of the all-time.
And they
of all
closed
time.
out Milwaukee, so they swept them.
and you're not going to have many people that are batting and pitching,
no.
not like
No.
that.
No. That's something that you'd see in
Babe Ruth
Little
time.
League.
Yeah. But
In Little League, and
that's
you'd
Brett
praise
Anderson.
little-
That's Brett Anderson kind of numbers.
Yeah, that's Brett Anderson.
Except he'd have more
Little League.
strikeouts because you couldn't get the kids to stand in the box.
Yeah, he's not. It won't hurt, but just a little bit if he hits
Scoot
you.
up, get in the box. At least get in the back of the box.
No, and Brett was one of those ones that even the parents, usually the parents say, "Hey, get in there, keep your shoulder in, stay in there."
Yeah.
No, the parents say, "Scoot back."
Yeah.
Maybe he'll walk you.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Utah.
at
Yeah.
Utah at BYU,
Whose pick is it?
and I'll go first. BYU. I got Utah.
Okay. Well, you'll love this.
You know why?
Why?
Because I want BYU to win.
Well, I got Utah.
You know why?
I can't. Yeah, I know.
You know why I want BYU to win?
You want them to be undefeated when we play them.
Absolutely. We'll have game day here. You talk about an atmosphere. And
I just can't imagine why Utah is favored by 3 at BYU.
At BYU.
That seems weird to me.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to take Utah simply because I think they're the second best team in the conference when it's all said and done.
Sure might be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure might be.
And BYU's kind of snuck a couple out lately.
Yeah.
What about Rodney? What did he do?
Rodney took BYU.
All right. USC and Notre Dame. God, this is a big
Who did you take? I didn't even hear you take
I took Utah.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry.
Utah.
All right, USC, Notre Dame minus 9.5. I took Notre Dame. Rodney took USC. David took.
Dang, that's a lot of points.
Is it at Notre Dame?
Yeah, it's at Notre Dame. But that's still a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to take USC.
That was like the Miami game last night. That's a lot of points.
And Rodney took who? He took USC?
USC. Yeah, USC.
Who you taking, Craig?
USC had a really good game last week beating Michigan. Big game for the Big Ten. Notre Dame, this is not a Big Ten game. It does not mean that much to USC. It means a lot more to Notre Dame. I'm going to go Notre Dame.
He's doing some thinking, isn't he?
Yeah, I think
we're not used to having that much thought put into this, Craig. I sure hope you do
we'd
well.
Never get through.
Yeah, if he put all this thought in there and he still sucks, then he's going to go back to.
Yeah, and there's a real good chance that's going to happen.
And we got 1 minute. 1 minute.
All right, Georgia minus 7.5 against Ole Miss. I took Ole Miss. Rodney took Ole Miss. David took
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
I'll go on the island, Georgia.
All right, there you go. That's not a bad island. West Virginia, UCF. UCF minus 7.5. I took UCF. I'll have to look to see what Rodney took. I didn't write it down.
UCF.
All right.
I'll take West Virginia just to be contrary.
Right. Craig, I sincerely appreciate you being there. I love being there on Saturday mornings, but sometimes, your soft wife says go to the mountains.
Yep.
And so I go to the mountains.
Rodney took UCF.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you, Gary. Thank you, buddy. That was fun.
Appreciate you, Craig. Y'all
You
have
betcha.
fun.
You appreciate me?
Yeah, certainly do.
See you later. All right.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
As talking about HG Thrash, they're at 2010 Broadway is their longtime store, and it's a great store. And then they got the new store out in Kingsgate Center at 82nd and Quaker, and it is absolutely gorgeous. They just go by and see them. You'll love it. Mission Service Company, that's Tanner Thetford, my son, and they do all kinds of landscaping. But here it's getting that time of the year, Christmas lights. And they do Christmas lights, and they do a great job with it. So you can call them and check it out, and they will help you with your Christmas lights, whatever you need at Mission. Really what we got started with this, and I made the rejoin Midland, Odessa, is they're spraying pad sites and stack yards to keep all the weeds. There can't be any weeds anywhere, any growth, and so they'll spray them. You just give them a shot. I think if you will give them one shot, give them one pad site, let them go out and do it for you, I think you'll hire them for everything you've got. That's how good they are, and you'll get a good price. And right now you can get a discount. Tell them you had the Thetford and Ashby or the TNA discount, and they'll give you 10% off of that. So call Tyler at 806-632-6325, 806-632-6325, and ask for the TNA discount, and they will get it to you. And one other one, West Texas State Bank. This is Jimmy Carmichael. That's a name that a lot of you know. John Grist is the main guy. He's the big guy, and he lives in Snyder and Lubbock. But that's where the home office is. And then Chris Comer, y'all know Chris. He was on the school board for many, many years, but he's the president of this Lubbock branch. It's just down home old banking, the way you remember banking. You know, you walk in there, hey, everybody, they all know you. It's just it's really cool, and they're looking for a reason to help you, not a reason not to help you. And I love that attitude at West Texas State Bank. They're at 72nd and Slide right now, going the south doors. They eventually will be at 29th and Slide in the old AIM Bank building, and they're getting that all ready for what they need. So that is West Texas State Bank. All right, well, that was good. And, Gary brought up Grant. I tried to get Cece on today. They're opening up their new fitness facility where you climb walls and stuff, rock climbing.
And that's not easy.
No, I think she sent me something. I think it's November the 1st, maybe.
Yep.
That they're
it's
she was
great.
supposed to open it October 15th.
Great fun. I mean, the safety factor is great, and for young kids to, have some physical exercise, for adults to have some physical exercise. It's a phenomena that has really gone across the country because, one, you're getting your physical activity that you need, but also it's competitive. It's it's just a good time for everybody. I mean, those places are really pretty neat. I've never been in this one yet, but
it'll be first class. I can tell you that. On November the 1st, they're having a block party. And Coach McCaslin will be there, and Raider Red's going to be there. I wonder how they work that out. They're going to have regular climbing, but it's called Inspire Rock Indoor Climbing. And it's November the 1st, 6703 Yonkers Avenue. 6703 Yonkers, Yonkers, Inspire Rock Indoor Climbing. And I don't know. I don't know. There's a passion she has or something. Yep. November 1st, climb after dark. You can climb in the dark. Headlamps and beer provided.
Yep.
That sounds like a bad combination. Dark and beer.
Yeah.
Anyway, we hope it does good. We'll have her on soon. She wants to be on. The problem is they got these two young boys, and they're playing everything sports you can think of,
and are pretty good at it.
Yeah, and so they're always going to a gym. But anyway. That really wasn't a commercial, but it was a commercial for us. But 6703 Yonkers, where is that?
I think it's just right on the other side of I-27 out by Friendship. On 66th goes pretty close to the new high school. I think it's out in that area.
But you said I-27.
Not I-27. The Marcia Sharp Freeway.
Okay. Yeah, that was confusing me.
Yeah, Marcia Sharp Freeway. I think
got you. I know where you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's in that area. I think.
All right. Well, and nowadays you don't even have to figure it out. You can people just
put it in your car and go.
Ask
Siri.
Take me there, and they'll tell you how to go. All right. But I think, what I'm hearing, but what's the highest ranking you've heard to protect basketball preseason?
Nationwide, I've heard 10 and 9 mostly, but Big 12 wise, I've heard anywhere from 1 to 3.
Yeah, well, Houston's number 1 pretty much with everywhere. In fact, they're like number 2 in the country, I think.
Yep.
But we're going to be really good.
I tell you, the Big 12 preseason poll came out, and having Kansas at 6th.
That blew me away.
That tells you. I couldn't
believe
how many. And they've got the freshman of the year coming, that Peterson kid, but they had no other.
The big guy's
12.
gone, isn't he?
Yeah, and get this. Arizona on the preseason Big 12 team had nobody. They're picked number 4 in the conference
and
have nobody on the Big 12 team. That's amazing to me.
We had 2 on the team. We had the Player of the Year.
Yeah,
and Toppin. And Christian Anderson is on the team.
Yep. And Houston had 3, and so I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be a war every time you go play somebody. I'll give you a great example is West Virginia. They got the old North Texas guy that took Grant's place at North Texas, Ross Hodge. Well, he's at West Virginia right now, and they're picked in the 12, 13, 14 category. I guarantee you, when you go to West Virginia, I promise you, you're going to have to play really hard and really good.
Better than when Huggins was there?
Yeah. This guy's good, I think. I think he's a really good coach. And with transfer portal stuff, David.
I know it.
If you don't have a big guy or if you don't have a point guard or something, you put your money together and go get you one. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's
well, we've got a really good coach. I think we got one of the best coaches in the nation.
Well, what was it? 2 weeks ago, they came out with an analytical performance poll of all the basketball coaches in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Kelvin Sampson's one.
Grant
McCasland's two.
I'm telling you.
I mean,
they're both here in this conference.
Yeah. I mean, Grant McCasland is a real X's and O's. I'll give him every bit of credit he wants because he deserves it.
Yeah.
But the way he manages his team, manages his minutes, the way he gets them ready to play,
inspires them.
From somebody's just sitting in the stands and you see them the first 5 minutes of the game, I'm thinking those practices must have been very spirited during the week, because they play hard.
They do.
They play hard.
We almost had Todrick Gocher on the show today. He's new.
Yep.
And to the Tech program, he's not new to Texas Tech because he was a great player here at Texas Tech. But he's he wanted to be on. He really did want to be on.
Yep.
And he was going to come in the studio, but he said, "Let me get back to you," because Coach hadn't released whether we're practicing in the morning or not. We've talked about it, but he hadn't given the final. And he sent me back a text, said, "We're practicing."
Yep.
I figured they would be, but
Gocher
we'll have him on soon.
He went to Europe, had a very successful 5 or 6 years over there, and he and his wife, who he met at Tech, decided to come back home, and
he's excited to be here.
Kudos to Coach McCasland for seeing the possibilities of what goes. Because you talk about playing hard, there wasn't. He started off as a freshman, and he gave it everything he had.
He's a great player for Tech.
Yep.
But he's now helping us on the basketball team, and he's going to be on our show soon. And we thought we were going to get him today, but didn't work out because of Coach McCasland, because he wants to practice.
Yep. If you looked at our schedule,
I've looked at part of it. Yeah. I've got it here somewhere.
I wouldn't in any shape, form, or fashion call it a mid or easy schedule. It's hard.
Yeah.
We've got some good teams in there, and we got according to the tournament situation, we got a chance to play Purdue, the number one team in the nation.
Yeah, and that'd be fun. Well, I've just got our Big 12, and we play here only.
Yep.
Against these teams: Cincinnati, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU, and Utah. That's a good home schedule there.
Utah, the only one that's not picked in the top 10, I think.
Those are good teams. And then away only, we play at Arizona, Arizona State, Baylor, UCF, Iowa State. That'll be a tough one. West Virginia, like you said.
Yep.
We could have had them here. And then we go both places to only 3 teams: BYU, Colorado, and Houston.
BYU and Houston are going to be wars. Both places.
Those will be.
Get this, and I'd like your opinion on this. Baylor went out to play Grand Canyon, and those inter squad scrimmage type things, the game type scrimmage they play, and I think they beat them 2 points or something. And it's the Drew boys, but Baylor took 12 players that had never worn a Baylor uniform before.
Yeah, didn't they lose everybody?
Everybody. I mean, 0 coming back.
It's really weird.
That is. I mean, how do you – and they're going to be competitive. I mean, they're going to be in the mix. And he started at ground 0.
Well, Scott Drill, he'll drive you a little nuts.
Yeah.
But I think he's a good coach.
Yeah. I just don't know how you do that. Any coach. That's hard. That's got to be hard. Okay, all you guys that played last year, nobody. Okay.
I talked to him briefly when Bobby Dagnall was here at First Baptist as our pastor. When they came to town early on, he had him come over. He let him come over to the church and eat and do some things there because of they're Baylor Baptist.
Yeah.
But I was there and I was walking down and I ran into Scott and talked to him just a little. He's a nice guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy. Coach Knight never really cottoned him much.
He didn't like Baylor, period. Whoever the coach was, he didn't like him.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he didn't like John Wooden.
Yeah, that's right.
He thought John Wooden was cheating. And John wasn't, but he had somebody that was good at doing it.
Yeah.
I love John Wooden, and I always hated that Coach Knight didn't really gotten to him, but I liked him. And anyway, I love Coach Knight. I love Coach Knight.
Speaking of Coach Knight, I saw on X last night, formerly Twitter, Pat Knight, who is a coach at Marion University. It's a NAIA school in Indianapolis.
I wondered where he was.
And Steve Downing, the associate AD that played for Coach Knight, was senior associate AD here at Tech.
Yeah.
He is the AD at Marion.
How about that?
And they both were on the bench when Marion scrimmaged Indiana last night, and they gave Pat a standing ovation when they introduced him before the game.
Isn't that super?
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
You know, I watched the video again. It wasn't that long ago when they brought Coach Knight back to and had all his players with him.
Yeah.
I cried a little.
Yeah, and
It's emotional.
Pat got that done.
It was awesome.
Because Pat never, I think he was disappointed and didn't like it, but he never shut Indiana out. I mean, he tried to at least understand that's what gave him a chance to be a coach and everything else. But Coach Knight, he pretty much wiped his hands clean of Indiana.
Knight, he'll do that.
Yeah, and he didn't want to go back, but I think Pat and some of his former players got him.
I think he was really glad he went.
Yep. Oh, there's no doubt.
Because that was an emotional.
Yep.
You talk about, of course, Coach Knight is worldwide famous.
Yep.
And we travel around and go in these places, go eat Greece or something. And I have my Texas Tech hat. I always wear my Tech stuff. And the guy at the airport would go, Bobby Knight. Well, this wasn't. He had been here that long when I did that.
Yep.
They know him.
And it's really, and it's not surprising at all when they brought him out to mid-court or something like that. His ex-players just gravitated to him. I mean, they were just – because there's a lot of stories that people don't know, including myself, of how much he helped kids, players, as they continued on in their lives after basketball.
Yep.
I mean – funding the opportunity to, go someplace and start a new job, or helping a family out that was on bad times. And of course, Landon Turner, the famous story, he got hurt and was paralyzed, and Coach Knight did just about everything he could to make sure that he was taken care of.
There's probably a 30 for 30 on that.
Hey, I bet there is.
Something.
Yeah, I bet there is. Yeah.
That Landon Turner. All right, well, let's move back to football, because we got a big ball game today at 3:00. And how you like 3:00 games? I kind of like them.
Yes, I do. I like them.
Much better than 11.
To me, that's when college football should be played.
Yeah,
is in the middle of the afternoon, and especially in November and December when it gets a little cold at night or something. But those afternoon games, I really like them. And 3:00's a good time for me. Because you're going to be through by 7, and the people from out of town, when Tech has a 3:00 game, they love it. They come because they don't have to, come in till that morning, and then they can eat and go home. But the hotels don't like it as much. But it's a good time, I think.
And Jan just sent me, she said, don't be surprised when the Kansas basketball team comes to town that our student body will have a posters of knives or something. It will be rowdy.
I tell you, our Raider Riot, those group that sits right there underneath the basket, they have as much fun going to a basketball game as anybody should have. Yeah. I mean, they really get into it.
Law was, Sam's boy was real instrumental in putting that together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have fun.
Sam and Julie's boy.
Yeah, I mean, they have fun.
They do.
Yeah.
The best one I've ever seen, this was before Raider Riot, was when we were playing the Aggies back when they were in the conference. And we were in the Coliseum, and you know how they'd bring pictures of beautiful girls in bikinis and hold them up under the basket for free throws. But for them, they held up a sheet. And I was like, that's horrible.
Yeah. Those kids, I'm telling you, those students can be very creative.
Pretty funny. All right, we're going to have Robert Giovannetti on the phone when we come back, and we're going to talk to him about the new penalties involved with tortilla throwing. And it's all for Texas Tech. It's a national story about tortillas. We'll be right back.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, Tom's Tree Place, 34th and Slide Road. That's where they are. That's where they've always been. The Scarborough, I can't believe they have been in that same look. When I was a little kid, I used to go in there. And that floor with the paint on it, I can remember it as a little kid.
Yep.
And they're just absolutely tremendous with whatever you need for your yard. They can help you diagnose the problem, get you the right things, treat it, and get it fixed. They got trees. They got those bubbler fountains that you can put out. They've got everything. Go see them. 34th to Slide. Golf USA, here's another guy who's got everything, and that's Stacy Nix. And go see them, Mike Moyer. Mike is there, and Chet's there, and they'll help you with your golf game. I mean, they give you a golf lesson.
Yep.
And they've got all the equipment you're looking for, the big names. They can fit you. They've got a repair shop. Great place. 67th in Indiana. McGavick Nissan and Infinity of Lubbock. This is Brent McGavick. And, boy, they got it going on. They just got a dealership. Well, what did Mac tell me? They just bought a dealership in Pampa or something.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But they have GMC trucks. They have Toyota.
Yeah.
And one other thing Mac told me.
Yep. And
now they got access to all
Well,
those.
that's what I say. What that means is if you're a McGavick customer, you're going to be able to get what you want when you want it. You know?
Hang on a second. I'll get this.
Yeah, I think Pampa is correct.
Pampa's right. Pampa's right. They got Toyota, GMC, and Chevrolet.
Oh my gosh!
At their new Pampa dealership. So yeah, if you're a McGavick fan, and you should be. They are awesome. Then you just go in there and tell them what you want. They'll get it for you.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right. Plus they're taking care of us here and in Lubbock, and they sponsor so much stuff. Thanks to Brent and his family, Steve, and what they built there. Plainview folks, but they're Lubbock. They're Texas Tech people. I can tell you that. All right. We got Gio on the phone here. Gio is we got Gio today, and I hope everybody's listening because I've told everybody he's going to solve the tortilla problem today at 10 on the show, and we're so thankful you're here to help us, Gio. It is a mess.
I went to my trusted advisor, Craig Wells, to get all the information about it.
Well, Craig's a thinker. He's a thinker. I give you that.
He's always been a deep thinker.
I know.
You know what I told Robert? I said, go in there and shut your door to the office and pick up the phone like you're on the phone.
Don't talk to anybody.
It really was great advice this week. I was just like, everyone thought, man, he was on the phone all week.
That Gio's working on it.
Yeah. And the sad part is it wasn't a fake phone call.
No, I wish it was, but yeah, they were real calls.
Well, I tell everybody, I saw the video of Kirby and Boutros. Who is he with?
Boutros.
Boutros, yes.
Boutros, yeah. And they were doing that video and telling the people what's happening. And it's gotten serious in a hurry here, hasn't it?
Yeah, that was funny. I don't know if it's funny. Actually, that's the wrong word to use. But we wanted to do something with the students, right, just to talk to the students. And so we scheduled – there's so many student organizations and trying to get them all scheduled quickly. We did a Zoom call and not – probably thinking it through. Well, I mean, one of the students obviously shared the link with the television station, who then recorded the conversation. It was supposed to be between us and students.
Oh,
and just to talk about what was happening, and just to get their thoughts on it, and to explain to them, just how serious it is, and in the students' defense, it's not just students throwing tortillas throughout the game.
No.
It's happening.
Yeah,
it's
you're
happening everywhere. But we thought it would be good to start with the student groups who are sitting right behind the bench of the opposing team, and to just have an open forum with them, as open as you can. We had it where you have so many people. We just said, submit your questions. I would ask Kirby the questions, and he would answer them. And again, obviously, just want to hear people's thoughts and talk about it. Be definitely refer to the fact that we understand that people love the tortillas and love throwing the tortillas, and but there's some serious repercussions now coming down the road for it.
Yeah, and I hope we can get it cleaned up. The deal, and Craig and I were talking off the air just a minute ago, and probably a little on the air. But here we are, number 7 ranked in the AP in the nation, undefeated football team, and we're talking about tortillas. Now, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't remember one morning, but I went in and kind of vented to Kirby about, hey, we're on the brink of this historic season. We've got so much ahead of us. Everyone should be excited about this, and I know they are, but I can't believe we're spending all this time talking about tortillas. And Kirby actually sent me that tweet that was sent out with a picture of him talking about, he goes, unbelievable, 2 days before a big game, I'm on Twitter talking about tortillas. And
I know it.
It's just one of those things that, hey, work in athletics, they say it'll be fun. And sometimes these things just pop up. And, again, obviously we have to address this, and that's what we've been trying to do.
Robert, I really hope our next home game against Oklahoma State that everybody reacts and follows the rules and so forth, because I think if we can get to that point, I think the problem tortilla will go away. But we've got to get to the point to where we have one home game and we play by the rules, and then I think from that point on, I think we've got it whipped.
This thing is like an onion. It has so many layers, and you could argue different layers of it. The changing of the fine midstream, the penalties versus the fine we received this week. All those things are being talked about. But the one thing I can say is, having been going to Tech games pre-tortillas, when I grew up and went to Tech, we didn't throw no one through tortillas. It started in the 90s, went away, then came back. I do remember them starting as, hey, let's throw these in the air, at different times. What we see now is, and again, I'm not arguing that anyone can get hurt by a tortilla. They don't. I don't believe they can get hurt, but what's happening now is the wadding of them up, and purposely just throwing them constantly at the opposing team's bench area. No one's going to get hurt. I get it, but eventually it's just too much, right? It's just too much happening down there, going on the field, and you're giving teams something to. Now, the great thing is, I think Coach Leipold really was worried more about the extracurricular stuff than maybe was the game on Saturday. So there's a positive to that. But I can say this: I stand on a lot of sidelines, and we don't deal with that in other places, right? We don't deal with that, and so I think if we did deal with that somewhere, we'd be mad, right? We'd be saying, "What's going on? We're getting these things thrown at our team," and so it's no longer a quaint, fun little tradition. And just like anything, it's just a few people probably really taking it to the next level of trying to hit people and doing different things to the tortillas to throw them on the field, get on the field. And it's just, as you mentioned, David, with what's happening this year, it's just kind of annoying that we're talking about this when really we may be watching the best team in the country here at Texas Tech.
I'm telling you, and we're spending all this time. Tortilla, this is a national story, Gio. There was an article in the New York Times about tortilla throwing at Texas Tech instead of how great our football team is. And we are great.
It's unfortunate. And, we get it. We leaned into it a little bit, too, at the beginning of the year with the 15-1 and the vote.
Yep.
And I think hopeful that we could say, hey, you guys want to keep this? Let's throw them a kickoff, and then let's be done with it. And I don't know if that was just being naive or what that was, but
you're trying to be nice. You're trying to be supportive. Yeah,
well, you want it for the people that really, again, people feel really strongly about that. Hey, this is a great tradition, and this is a tradition we feel strongly about. So we want to be mindful of those people and say, okay, let's keep this going. And look, we put it in videos. It's a cool shot at videos of the opening a kick when the tortillas are throwing in the air. So there's no finger pointing going on. We all share our own part of the blame of how we've got to where we are.
Well, get this, Craig, and you'll remember, and Gio definitely remembers, we threw them at the kickoff luncheon, and United provided them.
And we tried to give it a lesson there. We said, okay, look, we're going to do it one time at the start. We're going to pick them up, and we're going to be done with it. And again, looking back on it, you're going, okay,
it was cool.
Okay, give ourselves some grace.
It was really
cool. It was fun, but it probably in hindsight, not necessarily something we should have done.
Jake, Giovannetti, Robert, how important game day, big kickoff, big noon kickoff, or whatever those shows are when they come to your campus. we've got to get to the point when they come to our campus, they're talking about our football team, our student body, how great they are, how tough a place it is to play. We don't need for them to spend 20 minutes talking about this tortilla tradition.
They did, and they did.
Yeah, and we need for them to understand that we're a football school right now. We'll be a basketball school when basketball comes. And but I can go either way, but I just hope that people understand we've given them an opportunity to do it right, do it right, and then stop it.
Yeah, when Big Noon was here last year, it was a big deal for us, and we were dealing with those guys for weeks. And the week they were here, one day they bring in these huge boxes, and I said, "Hey, what are those?" And the producer said, "Hey, we're going to hand out tortillas to the students." And I said, "My suggestion is you don't do that." And he's like, "No, we think it's going to be fun. We're going to tell them at a certain point. We're going to throw them at a certain point." And I said, "Okay, well, you've been forewarned." And because students brought their own too, and so there was a preponderance of tortillas there, and it was constant throughout the show. If you guys remember,
I remember. It was embarrassing.
And they tried to stop it in one of the breaks. The guy said, "Hey guys, we gave those to you because we want to throw them," and they started like pelting them with tortillas, and he was talking about it. And then they got it right. They said, "Hey, white flag, throw them all you want," and I think they're hoping that we would just run out. And they were throwing throughout the show. Now, some of the talent, you can tell were fairly annoyed by it as they were getting hit by them during the broadcast, and so I hated that because I thought, wow, it was a great environment, it was a great atmosphere, and that became sort of the story, the entire show about tortillas. Again, we have so many great stories going on here that we want those to be the stories, and the tortilla be just a part of the whole fabric of the game, like Bangin' Bertha, the bell, the horse leading the team on the field. I mean, all those different things that are part of our unique game day.
Did you watch the horse last game before the?
I did. I
got a little antsy. Let's go.
I did watch the horse. I was pretty close to him, and I tried to remove myself from it. And I've got a new hip, so I'm trying to keep my new hip safe. So I moved over.
He was fired up.
Robert,
he was ready to run.
We got a big game today, but Oklahoma State comes next week for our next home game. I believe, is it family weekend? Is that right?
Yes, Parents Weekend, and then Graham Harrell will be inducted into our Ring of Honor, and also the National Heart Association they've created a new award, and they are going to present the first one to Mike Leach, and so someone from Mike Leach's family will be there to accept that as well. So we have a lot going on at next Saturday's game, but we're excited about Graham coming up. They've got a bye week, and so he's going to come up and be recognized, and his name will be unveiled on Saturday afternoon. So that's going to be a big weekend for sure. But the game's it was the first game we sold out this year, and a lot of that was because Parents Weekend, and so it's a big deal for sure.
We sell out all the games now. It's phenomenal what's happening. Aren't you proud? I mean, really.
It is fantastic. We still have a few tickets left for UCF, but we feel like those will go.
Well, they'll go. The more we keep on winning, and I think, David gets on me about the flyovers. We couldn't have one last week because of the shutdown. So hopefully next Saturday the shutdown will be over, and we'll have a flyover. And so all those things that go part of it. I thought our crowd was great last Saturday. I thought they were loud. I thought they made a difference. They made an impact. I thought they were really great against Oregon State too, and then the rain came and had to. That
I
changed.
thought, wow, this crowd's really juiced up, and then we got rained down, and then an hour and a half later, whatever. Obviously, you don't get as many people come back, but it's been tremendous support. We just can't say enough how great Tech fans are, and I think I said this on y'all show last week. We deserve this, right? We've kind of all earned where we are this year. That we've had some not so great times, we've had some great times, but this is a special year, and we're all getting to be a part of that, and that's pretty special.
And it starts with the students. What they bring to the total atmosphere is just it's just amazing. Robert, what I was asked this question and I had no answer for him. the smoke when it's after the fireworks and how it lingered in the stadium and so forth. What do you do with that, Robert? I mean, that
was not intentional.
Yeah, but I would think the weather has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, the company that we work with, Illumination Fireworks, are fantastic, and their guys, a guy named Andrew McDonald, he's a Red Raider, and he works with us and gives us great pricing. And so we wanted to have a special cool show for that, and so we did it. And it's funny, I'd moved over to the other corner. I'd been on the Kansas sideline for the entire game to just be a part of that. And then so I'd gone over to our sideline to watch the drone show. And then I noticed the smoke, and I was like, oh, gosh, this is going to be another thing I'm going to deal with. I'm walking back over to talk to their bench to tell them, hey, we apologize about the smoke. And I see the fireworks guy, and he's like, that was awesome. And I said, look at the smoke. And he said, oh, it's dissipating. And I couldn't even see the teams from the end zone.
I know it.
So I walked around, and it did start to dissipate. And talking to him afterwards, I guess at that point there was just zero wind. And and I guess it was a perfect storm. What our humidity was, it just everything just sat there, and eventually it cleared away. So we're changing our plans for fireworks going forward. We won't have that happen again.
Yeah, but I think it was completely out of everybody's control. I think the weather probably had as much reason, because usually that stuff just blows right over.
Yeah, normally in Lubbock it does.
Yeah, it gave me sufficient grief that if anyone is mad about it, and I've had a few emails that were mad about it, believe me, I took a lot for that. So you got your pound of flesh for that smoke hanging there.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.